Hi, this is Lynn Montajon from Montajon's Herbals, and tonight we're doing some campfire cooking. I am not sure exactly what you're seeing because everything is, I can't see, as a matter of fact, because of the sun that is out here. So hopefully you're seeing it and not just hearing what I have to say. What we're going to do is we're going to make nachos tonight, and we're going to make them in a cast iron Dutch oven in a barbecue. I'm standing to the side because I'm going to walk around and do a lot of stuff, but what I wanted to show you right off the top, so I'm going to move the camera a little bit, and there is my barbecue. I will tell you that I put that together this afternoon. I did not put the top on it because I couldn't figure it out, so I'm going to have to take some extra time and look at it. So as you're building your zombie apocalypse team, what you need to know is I have a lot of gifts and a lot of skills. Mechanics isn't one of them. So if you're looking for a mechanic, I'm not your gal. You're looking for a cook or someone who can sew or knows herbs, I'm all in, but not if you need me to build something, because that isn't going to work well. So what I have sitting here in my barbecue is a charcoal chimney. Now what this does is there's two ways you can light charcoal. You can light it, you can put lighter fluid on it and then light it, or you can use a chimney. Now I like to use a chimney because I don't necessarily like the fumes of the lighter fluid, right around my food. So the way that you when you buy this, it comes in 3 pieces. It comes in the chimney, the handle, and the and a little heat deflector right there. Now what I did not do is I also have a nice like an UV glove to use, and I did not bring that out, so that was not good. Now the way this works is you put paper in the bottom, and there is a shelf in there. So the paper goes in the underneath, and what you do then is you light the paper, and then you put your charcoal in the top of the chimney. So I'm actually going to open up and put 18 charcoals in. Now the reason I'm putting 18 charcoals in is because I'm using an 8-inch pan. So that will give us 10 charcoals for the bottom of the pan and 8 for the top. Now what you need to do as well is look at what kind of a pan you have. So what kind of pan I have is actually a Dutch oven. So there are no feet on the bottom of this. But it does have a flat top so that I can still put the charcoals on top. So I am over here out of your sight. Putting the charcoal in the chimney. Now, if you have been into the shop ever and bought capsules or anything, you know I can't count and talk at the same time. So, whoa. So I also don't have a real flat yard. So I am going to go ahead and light the paper. It's kind of windy. Alright, so give me a minute. I'm going to run into the house, get another lighter, because even though I tried that one in the house, it worked. I'm going to get one that will light, and since I'm going in, I'm going to get the oven. So, I'll be right back. mitt and for barbecues, and I brought 3 things to light. Now, this chimney I got at grocery outlet, and it was $10. And the pit mitt I also got at grocery outlet, and I think it was like $7. Okay, I'm going to light this in my house because the wind keeps blowing it out, so I'm going to just come in here. Okay, now we've got it lit. So we're going to let it burn for about 15 minutes. So I've got the timer here. So we'll know what it is. And while that's cooking, we're going to start building our nachos. Now with nachos, these are black bean nachos, and we are going to, I'm not going to put meat in it because it's Meatless Monday. You could put meat in it, you could put chorizo, you could put seasoned hamburger, anything that really sounds good to you. It is, there's no reason why you couldn't put it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer chips, and then we're going to layer the beans. So these are black beans that were canned, and these have been drained and rinsed, and we're going to put some canned tomatoes in here. Now this is Rotel, because I like the chilies in it. I'm not a huge fan of jalapeno, and so I am not going to put jalapenos in there. I forgot the cheese. Not nachos without cheese. Right back. So this is why I always barbecue right by my door, because I seem to have a hard time remembering and forget lots of things. So what I'm using, you can use any kind of cheese, but I use the Mexican force cheese style. This one has Monterey Jack, cheddar, asadero, and queso. So that's going to go in there too. Then we're going to do another layer. So the protein that you're getting in this comes from both the cheese and the beans. So again, the beans. And tomatoes. And cheese. Now I've got salsa here, and some people put their salsa in when they're cooking it. I think that makes it a little soggier than what I like. So I put that on at the end, and actually it's more like I put it on the table and let anybody who wants to use it on their individual plate. Now, if you're ever in a position where you need to not let anybody know you're cooking and you're cooking outdoors, what you can do is, by cooking in cast iron, people and animals can't really smell what you're doing, and and so consequently, if you're not wanting to share your food with anybody, bears, people, then you want to go ahead and cook this way. So these are still cooking. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on. Now, ultimately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the chimney over and put the charcoals on the bottom of the barbecue, and then I will pull out 8 of them, and then put the 8 on the top, and that way it's like being baked. It is, you've got heat coming from the bottom and you've got heat coming from the top. It is a good, easy way to do any kind of cooking. You can cook, that's how I roast my potatoes. I'm going to, probably this week, maybe Thursday, I'm going to go ahead and roast corn that way and see how that looks, because I think that's going to be real good. Now, the other bits that I have is olives, and I've got some green onions and some cilantro, which will go on at the end, as well as some sour cream and some guacamole, and then the salsa, and olives. We've got olives there too. So what I am going to do, I left the green onions and the cilantro in the kitchen. Today has been a heck of a day. I have had more difficulties with setting this up than probably any other of the ones that we've done. I think it is likely that is because of assembling the barbecue, which is outside of my skill set. I'll be right back. So if you are kind-hearted and understanding that today's been a hard day, you can look at these little breaks as like bathroom breaks, but we have everything now, so we ought to be in good shape. We've got about another 5 minutes, and then we're going to cook the nachos for 10 minutes. Now, I am going to go ahead right now and slice the green onions and leave them over here on, if I can continue to keep it on the pizza thing here. And this will go on top and not after it's cooked, so that it doesn't cook and they'll be nice and crisp on top. And we'll do the same thing with the cilantro. So there is green onions. And there's plenty of cilantro in here. We're going to go ahead and cut it as well. Okay. So right now, what we're going to do Wednesday is I was asked about when we do ritual, what I use for offerings, and I was asked about altar setups and things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, the coals are looking good. We are going to go ahead and talk about an altar setup. And so I'm going to clear my altar totally on Wednesday, and what we're going to do is set up an altar. And I'll explain what each piece is and why it's on there, and we'll talk about how simple it can be or how complicated it can be, because your altar is a personal thing and is something that you need to feel comfortable with. And so your altar doesn't have to look like mine. It is it's all dependent in what it is that you want to do. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, and I see I didn't even need the glove. We're going to go ahead and turn the charcoals over. Now I'm going to put it here because I've got a cement like front porch in front of my door, and that way it is it's very hot, and you don't need to. If you put it on the grass, you could actually start a fire. And since you don't want to do that, okay. So now I'm putting them in a flat line, and I have tongs that I'm doing that with. And now I'm going to put the pan directly on the charcoals, and I'm taking the other charcoals and putting them on top of the pan. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera in just a second so that you can see what it looks like. So we're going to go back to 10 minutes. And that is what it looks like. You can't see the charcoal that's on the bottom, but they're there. It is the difference now between a Dutch oven and a spider is a spider has feet and a Dutch oven is flat on the bottom. Now normally I would do these in a spider, but because there's a grate for the charcoals, I need to do it in the flat bottom so that the feet don't get tied up in the grate. It is when I cook in my fireplace, then I cook in the spider because I put it just on the floor of the fireplace with all of the stuff underneath the feet. It is because it's straight on the floor. The other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is the witch's ball. We are not going to be able to have the witch's ball this year if you didn't see it posted in my notes. We can't gather in that large of a group. So I want to do something a little bit fun anyway. So we're going to do a ritual on Halloween, on Samhain, honoring our ancestors, which is what we do at that time of the year. But I also thought we could do some fun things. So some of the ideas that I have are we could do a pumpkin carving contest and show our masterpieces on the store page. Then we can vote on who has the best pumpkin, and I will donate a prize for that. That's one idea. Another idea is have a couple of movie nights where we go through Messenger chat room and watch the movie together and type comments to each other. Some of the movies that have been talked about are Practical Magic, Hocus Pocus, The Craft. So, and I always love bed knobs and broomsticks. So if you have some ideas about movies, and we can even do like Thursday night movies, or for the month of October, if you are interested, that's a good idea. It is somebody else suggested simply a fall theme. If you put together a little fall theme and you want to put it on there. We can also, if you decorate the outside of your house or the inside of your house, you can put pictures of that. So those are all ideas that have been brought forward. Somebody did suggest we do a tea out in the park, but we cannot do that because the Parks and Rec keep canceling my reservations for the park, and because it's too large of a group, even if we were to do it outside. Now, the upside to this is, for all of you folks who are not close by, you get to participate. If you're out of state or out of the area, and Everett is too far to come for a party or a dance, this one is something that opens it up to a lot more people. So think about what you would like to do. Drop me a note and let me know. And if you even have a good idea for a prize, let me know. No trips to Jamaica or to Salem. Sorry, COVID has hit me a little bit hard, and so it's not going to be a prize of that nature. We've still got 5 minutes on these nachos, and I'm kind of running out of things to say. I have some new ideas about some classes due to the fact that you have sent me some suggestions. Again, please think about sending me suggestions whenever something occurs to you, because I'm always open to suggestions and help. I just made a broom with my granddaughter on Saturday night, and it occurred to me that that's not a class, because I was thinking, well, maybe that would be something we could do. I think that would be too hard to do online. So as soon as we get to the point of having, being able to gather, even in groups of 8, I will go ahead and schedule a broom class. About 8 is the maximum that can be held in my shop, and so if we have more than 8 people wanting to do a broom, then we'll just continue to do the classes until everybody gets the class. I am thinking, we've got, the gardens are coming out really well right now, and I am thinking about doing some classes on dehydrating and canning and freezing and how to get all of those gardens preserved for the year upcoming. So if that's something that you're interested in, also let me know about that. It is, it's been really hot these last couple days. Right now it's wonderful because here at my house, I'm in a wind tunnel, and so it's really cooled down, and the breeze, even though it made it really difficult to light the paper for my chimney, has cooled everything down quite a bit. If we continue, now my understanding is that the weather is supposed to be, over the next week, it is actually supposed to stay in the high 70s. So that's doable. That's not ridiculously hot. What you need to think about is when it's that hot, you need to practice a little bit more self-care than you would normally. So make sure you're hydrated. Make sure that you're drinking water. Make sure that if you are out and about doing anything and sweating in the process, you need to drink a whole lot more water than you would normally. Ways to stay cool are soaking your feet. So if you get cold water and put your feet in cold water, and you don't want ice water. You want it just about 10 degrees, like 80s or 70s degrees of water, because your body's 98 degrees, and if you put it too cold, you can shock your system quite a bit. It is, but take sure that they're taking care of themselves and they're not getting overheated, because the houses here in Washington are not set up for this kind of heat. Very few have any kind of air conditioning, and that can be really tough on some of us older people. So once again, reach out to your family and your friends and the people that you know, and see if they're doing okay, and if they're not, see if there's something you can do to help, because we need the older people around. They're the ones that have the skill sets that some of us have forgotten, and it would be hard to have to learn all over in a situation of scarcity, how to make do if we don't have somebody to give us helpful hints. So let's take care of those older folks. We are 2 minutes away from 10 minutes. So what I'm going to show you is this. Now this is a lid picker, because the lid on this is going to be very, very hot. Most particularly if you're putting it in a campfire, or if you're putting it in your fireplace, because it's surrounded by the flames as well as by the coals. It is basically what we're doing here is simply melting the cheese. That's why it's only a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up the lid and see how it looks. Okay, I can see that the cheese is melting. It isn't melted all the way. It's going to probably need another couple minutes. I may go ahead and become a little bit antsy and not make it cook so long, because we've got it right here. It probably needs another 3 minutes or so. The guacamole that I make is my mom's guacamole, and it is very basic. It's not at all Hispanic in style. What she would do is take a ripe avocado, mash it up, add some mayonnaise to it, and then some salt and some pepper and some chili seasoning or some taco seasoning, and that was hers. And so that's what I grew up with, and that's the way I make it as well. There's a lot of fun recipes that you can make. One of my daughters, Kara, has an amazing Pico de Gallo recipe that she uses. I find that oftentimes I am a little bit quick to use shortcuts now, because I'm usually only cooking for myself. So I've got canned salsa, and I could have soaked the beans and cooked the beans and then do that, but it was just, no, I'm looking for a little bit quicker kind of thing. So one thing that I didn't do is when I was at the grocery store, the recipe calls for chopped olives, and I looked at the price of chopped olives, and the chopped olives for a half-size can was like over $2, and it was a little over $1 for a full-size can of olives. Now I looked at that and I says, okay, you know what? I can chop olives. So that's what I did. The other thing I don't do very much anymore is grate my own cheese, because I don't use that much, because I'm making smaller portions. You can save a lot of money by grating your own cheese. And they've got amazing kitchen gadgets that will grate the cheese for you. So if you're looking to extend your budget, buying the whole pieces and cutting them into smaller will save you some money. It's not a bad thing to go that way at all. Okay, we are going to go ahead, and I'm going to turn the camera to the barbecue. Okay, and we're going to take the lid. Oh, that's looking good. And again, I'm going to put the lid over here on the cement. so that it doesn't catch anything on fire, because it still has the live coals on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the cilantro, and we're going to add the green onions, and we're going to add the olives, and then I'm going to take the leftovers here and put them in with the olives, and then I'm going to use this for something else down in the week, because I need the pizza peel here. Okay, so we're going to put this underneath, and we're going to go ahead and take the pan and put it on here. Now, because this is a hot plate, I can put the pan straight on the hot plate, but even at that, because the hot plate is a little bit damp because of the things that I cut on it, it is, I can hear it sizzle. So, now I'm going to go ahead and add some of the guacamole, some of the sour cream, and voila! There are the nachos. So, a different dinner to make if you are out camping and have a fire going, or if you have a fire pit in your backyard. Something that you can do, just a little bit of fun, and something a little bit different. So thank you for joining me. I will answer any memos or notes that you put on there a little bit later after I eat my hot nachos. And have a good beginning to your week, and I will see you on Wednesday.